Hello, right, as promised and as have been requested, hopefully this is going to be a tutorial for making the Edith Holden notebooks. I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I'll warn you now, I don't edit my videos, so anything can happen and it will stay in the video. So first of all, it's so simple. All I use is just a piece of craft card. You can use a piece of cardboard, just any kind of card, it doesn't really matter. It's just that I find this a little bit sturdier. I think it's about 250 GSM, I think, from what I remember. All I do is just fold it in half. So just make sure it's as close as you possibly can. It is a little bit hard to fold, so you do need your bone folder. And just, or a ruler, doesn't have to be a bone folder, so just anything like that. I always do both sides to make sure you've got the crease. I'm a little bit nervous doing this because I haven't done a tutorial like this before. So basically there's your book. That's a simple one, right? The hardest part I always find at the minute is choosing what you want for the front and the back. Hence my trusty little box with everything that is Edith Holden. I don't chuck anything away. So for the front, you want, this isn't going to be a monthly one, this is just going to be an ordinary notebook. So I'm sort of going to go for anything. Why don't we go like that, I think. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, let's go for that one. And then all you do, well I do anyway, is I just do this. Now, when I make my books, I don't know why I started doing it, but I always leave a bit of a gap. Not a lot, just a little bit. I think it's so that it... Actually, I don't really know why I do it. There's no point trying to explain this. I don't know why I did it. And I just carried on doing it. So you don't have to. But I think when I first done it, because the paper comes right to the spine, and obviously I always put the edging bit, it was just getting a little bit too thick. So I thought if I just bring it back just 1/4 of an inch, I think you can see it okay there. It's as simple as that. So that would be our front. And I think... yeah, that'd be fine. Right, I'm going to go for it. Let's do this. Right, I'll just get a bit of the deli paper. Now, I was asked what glue I use. I just use a Pritt stick. I use the Scotch Pritt stick. It's usually this one I use, the small one, but I ran out. We're doing all the books, I ran out and I couldn't get any more of this, so I've had to get this big one. So I'm kind of hoping that this works just as well. So all I do, it's as simple as this. But I will warn you, if you're doing a few, they take your glue. I don't want to use a wet glue as such, because I want a little bit of movement, and I don't use Fabri-Tac because I don't want any glues that smell. In one of my other videos you'll know that I don't do smelly things. Okay, give it a good coating. I always go a little bit over the top with glue. You don't have to do the same as I do. Okay, so I think about... no, it's too much to it. Come off. So the glue works. If I do about there, to make sure, yeah, you can still see. It's giving you... actually, that could come down a little bit. See, this is why I say you need wiggle room. I don't usually have this much problem. But I mean, you could have always measured it, but I'm not into measuring. I just sort of go by eye. Okay, that's that. And then all I do is just get my bone folder and just give it a good press down. Peel the deli paper back and just turn it over. On my others I have cut it, but I'm kind of trying something different here, and I thought if I try it and cut it as I go, I wonder if it makes it a little bit better. So all you do is I just trim it like so, And if it is slightly off when you've done everything else, I usually go around and just trim any little bits that's overhanging. They don't have to be perfect. Never think that something has to be perfect. I am a perfectionist, don't get me wrong, but I've come to learn with doing this sort of thing that you don't have to have it exact. Hard to do, granted. There's no, you know, right or wrong, but keep the bits. They have got a bit of glue on, but they'll be fine. Right, so that effectively is your front at the minute. Flip it over and let's see. That I'm going to have to lose a little bit of the butterfly, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to... See, this is the only dilemma that I always have. I never know which to use for the best, but I do like the butterfly. Yeah, I think I'm going to... Okay, paper trimmer time. I'm going to have to get the paper trimmer, excuse me. Alright. Let's see. Roller, roller, roller. The easiest way to do it, I always say, if you measure... I told you I'm faffing around now because I haven't got a clue. Okay, it's about 14. Yeah, it's never an easy number. So if I do about 14.3. This, I mean, like I say, you can measure it from the very beginning. So the best thing I'm going to do is I want to just trim that. I think I need to get a new blade in this. It chews my paper. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Sorry about the reflection of the lights. It always gets clogged with paper just there. And because these are old books as well, it just eats it. Okay, so I need it 14.3. This is how I never give myself easy jobs, because I'm always going for a stupid amount. Okay, which is about there. Yeah, about that. Okay. Let's try that. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's no big thing. It just means it's to waste more paper, which is not a good thing. See, that's not too bad. And then we can just trim the top and the bottom. Okay, let's do this. Right. Come back. So, once again, just get your glue stick. Make sure you always do the edges. Give it a good coating. I suppose these big ones are actually a bit better because they should last you a little bit longer. I mean, I must admit the small glue sticks that I was using, I'd only do like the front and the back and maybe just the middle, like the inside of it, and I'd be literally down to nothing. So it's like one glue stick per book, which is not very good for price wise when you're having to keep buying glue sticks. Right, I don't want to make a mess of this one, and I want it to be down far enough. You've got to come down a bit further than that. So let's see, about there. About there. That should be okay. I've not got enough glue there. See, that's what happens. Okay. I hope I'm not going too fast. I really do. I never even thought. I'm so sorry if I am. Come off. Okay, where's that gone? I've lost my bone folder. Really? Oh, there it is. Well, there you go. That's how it happens. Right. White on white. Never works. Okay, let's trim that again. And then... Oh, come on. These scissors are okay, but they don't like it if they get a bit of glue. I did get some of the Teflon coated ones, but I just didn't think they were very sharp, and I don't like the Tim Holtz ones because my hands are small and the handles are too big. And I tried one once and I can't hold them. They're just, yeah, they're just not for me. Although they'd be perfect because I know that the one just stuck. But never mind. It's just how it goes. Right. I don't know if you can see. It's a bit hard to see, but it kind of gives you, it's a bit rough. There's a bit of an overhang here. And I'm just going to leave that just now, because what I'm going to do is this will now just sit for a minute while we carry on doing the rest of the stuff. Don't worry about the glue on the edge, that will dry and you're not going to see that anyway. So basically that's your front and that's your back. Not bad up to now. What we'll do though, we will cover the front, no we won't, we'll cover the inside. So on the monthly ones that I've done, obviously I've done the lined, the wording, but this one we could do, I don't want to use that, I'm just trying to choose which one is better. Shall we go, I don't know, there's so many of them that I like, that's the problem, it's so hard to choose. Now that would be nice, because if that went like that, I do the same, I leave a gap in the middle. So I could cut a bit, but I would measure this, I think. Yeah, should we do this? We'll do this one. That one can go back in there. Okay. Stand, no, I need to measure that first. I don't need to stand, I need to measure. Right. You'll have to excuse me, I do waffle. This is why I don't do these videos, I'm sorry. Okay, so all I do is I roughly measure. Oh, that's not too blinding for the light, okay. If I do about 14.3 again, that gives a gap as well. So we'll do that. Just stand that to the side. Let it do its own thing. So, yeah. I don't want to mess this up because I do want a nice... If I trim it, this could go completely wrong. But I know that if I do 14.3, no, I don't want that, so it's got to be there. Right, I'm going to trim a bit of this off because I don't want too much of this white, or this cream. Okay. Like I said, this could go horribly wrong, but hey, let's do it. I'm going to cut this down the middle. No, I'm not. I want to cut the size that I need. So 14.3, which is there. Which will give me that. Alright, that'll be one half. The only problem is I'm going to lose quite a bit on this, I think. Yeah, it would have to be that way. Let's do this side, because if I do that one, I'm going to lose. Yeah, I'm going to end up losing, because if I cut that down the middle, because I don't want to do that anyway, put that to the back. If I turn that round and I do 14.3, where's my thing gone? It's there. It's that. Let's try it. Might be okay. Actually, yeah, it will. It will. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, right. Come back with the deli paper. Right, this time I'm going to turn this over because I like this, but I don't like how all the glue goes everywhere. Okay, I hope I'm still in shot. Sorry if I'm not. Okay, right. Let's get some glue on. Oh, and the best thing as well to make sure that you have the book round the right way. That is not the first time that I've done it upside down for the inside, and it had, well, it doesn't matter if it's got flowers or not, because it's still going to be upside down whether it's flowers or writing. But it was still upside down, so needless to say, I had to quickly take it off, and by chance I'd managed to realise that I never checked before I'd actually glued it down properly. So the people going to be watching this going, oh, do you ever shut up? Okay, yeah, that is, wait, I lost, that's the back. So I want that one this side. And I want that like that. Perfect. Take that off of there. You know, there's somewhere. manage down, right, and then get your scissors again, and then just trim along the top. Just checking I have done this right. Yeah, I have. I always question myself. See what I mean? It just likes getting stuck. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much I do. I always think, is that right? Was that right? What I should have done? So now you're getting to see this as well. So that's even better. You'll think I'm a head case. Right. Let's do. Now you can see there's the bit of overhang just there. So what we're going to do is just trim it. And don't worry if it's a little bit rough, because if you've not cut it all properly, when it's still a little bit damp, you'll be able to do it when it's dry. So that's not a problem. So that's the back. Yeah, I know what's throwing me. It's because I usually do the front first, that's why. I don't usually do the back until the second bit. Okay, I try not to sit that in glue. Well, so far this glue sits not doing too bad. Okay, make sure I'm still in frame. Sort of trying to go quick, but not trying to hurry up too much, because I don't want to miss anything or make a mess. Okay, make sure it's covered really well. Okay, right. Now, you go to the side. Now this one's going to go that way. I don't know why I checked, because I know it's the right way, because the other one's on the side. But it's just a habit, and it's better to be more cautious. Okay. And don't have to worry about any of these bits, because it gets covered. I don't usually have. I thought I'd actually cut that off, but I think because I cut it on the spine itself, it didn't fold it down very well. So give it a good press, just to get any air bubbles out. I'm sure you already know that anyway. Okay, and once again, the other thing I find hard as well using the Edith Holden paper for inside, well, and front, is because both sides have usually got a beautiful image on of some sort, and it's terrible. Sorry, my nose, I've got hay fever and my nose keeps running. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, this book isn't going to anybody, this will be mine. I use that much hand gel that everything gets covered. My desk, you name it, scissors. Right, front and back done. So that is more or less your book. Okay, right, what we're going to do is going to sit that to the side for a bit, because one of the tasks that we've got to do is to round the corners. Now, I usually have an argument with this, and I'm kind of hoping it's going to go to plan because I'm not on the camera. I know it's not going to, because it doesn't any other time, so I know for a fact it's not going to do it at the minute, but we'll leave that for a few minutes, just sitting to the side. Right, the next bit is the edges, like the spine, the front and the spine. So, as I said, I designed this to go on the inside and the outside of the notebooks. I did do smaller ones a while ago, but I didn't actually do the video. So obviously I've just sort of extended it and changed the style of it, but you don't have to do this. You can just put a straight piece of the paper down, you know, you can freestyle a pattern, you do whatever you like. But on this one, I'll show you how I do it. So once again, we need to choose a piece to go down the middle of the inside and out. Now, in my box, I have everything. So I'll show you. I've got 4 pages. I have strips, but these are going to be too small because I've got to fold it in half. So I need something, because it's sort of like spring and summer. I mean, I could go for the wording, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do... I could always... No, that's too much. Just spoils it. Just takes your eye off everything. Okay, let's have a look. That's quite a nice one. Should we go for this one? And obviously the only problem is that you don't really see a lot of it when it's folded. So yeah, I think we'll go for the front one. Right. So all you do is you literally just fold the page, just maybe about 1.5 inches. Not even that. Okay, it's about 1 inch, just over 1.75 inches, you can see. But really all it is just to take that. So it could even be just a little bit less than that. And all I do is I sort of judge where it's going to go. So I think about there. And then all I do is I get a pencil. And then I literally just draw round. I hope you can see everything. Just draw around the template. And because this is going to be for the inside as well, all you do, I've got glue or something stuck on this now. Really got to clean my scissors, it's not good. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, and just, yeah, you can see. All you do is you literally just cut out the template. So easy to do. Yeah, my scissors are not very good. I'm going to change my scissors. Use these ones. Can't believe it, they're my go-to scissors and they've been fine. As usual, that's what happens. And I'll do this. I hope it's all clear for you, but if there's anything that you don't get, or you know, you think, well, why is she doing that? That's not right. Then just, you know, do tell me, because I'm still learning. I mean, I've only been doing this for like a few years, and you know. Oh, that's a nice. Actually, that's quite pretty, isn't it? You can always fold it the other way. Okay, the best thing I always do is get your book. And obviously you've got to make sure that it doesn't stick at the minute. And that's how it's going to look. So shall we have it like that? Because you've got the butterfly that kind of carries on both sides. So I think we'll have it that way around. Okay. Right. Now for the inside, it's all flowers. But I think if we kind of go for this section here in the middle as best we can, hopefully it'll kind of carry. Ow. I'll move my box out of the way before I hit my arm on it anymore. Right, so that's going on the inside, so we'll have that folded that way. Yeah, I think. Yeah, because once that's out, I'll spend more time arguing with myself and questioning what I'm doing than actually doing the things. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way around you do this. Yeah, it'll be fine. Once again, just put it down. So you do use literally everything in the book. There's not much waste. And once again, just do this. And I will be inking the edges, but I will try and hurry up and do that so you're not constantly watching inking. And if this video is a bit boring for you, I am so sorry. if there's any sizes or anything like that, because I've tried to give you the sizes as best I can. Obviously I'll give you the size of the book when it's finished, but it's just an A4 bit of card, but I can't remember what it is in American. I'm so sorry, because I know the paper sizes are different. I'm guessing it would be sort of your biggest, is it letter size? I'm not sure. But anyway, right, so there we go. And that will go, come back here, that will go in your middle like that. Okay, right, now comes the fun part, because we're going to ink. Oh, I put my glue, lid on my glue. Right, all I use is just some vintage photo distress ink. That's it. The only bits I ink first will be the centre and the edges of the book after I've done the corners, because I can't see much point in doing the edges when you've still got to cut corners. Literally, I've got to cut corners. Right, so that's that. This bit can actually get stuck in. So all I do, I'll move that to the side, is get your thing. And like I said before, this is, yeah, I think that would have spoiled it, actually thinking. No, I don't know now. Oh, this is what happens as well. You think you've chose the right side, and when you turn it over, it could be that way. No, I think that one's better, because you've got a bit of colour. Yeah, stick with first choice. Always go with your first instinct. Oh dear. Loose glue. Right, all I do is literally just cover this with your Pritt stick. Right, once again, make sure you get the edges. Okay. Oops. Right, I think that's that. Come off, please. Thank you. Right. One tip I do give is sort of try and fold it again in your hand. It's not pleasant because obviously you've got glue on it. And then one with Pritt stick, because you've got that little bit of leeway, you can actually just put it into this place. And then what I do is just fold the book a little bit. Get your ruler actually, and just press it. Oh, sorry, I just realised something. Just press it, just to get that right in the middle. And then get your bone folder and just run it down, like so. And then do the same on the other side. And then just wipe away any excess glue with your fingers. And then that is the inside done. And I always sort of make sure that it's in place and you squeeze it as well. The outside one won't get put on until after the signature's been put in. So as you can see, it's in place. And it kind of blends in a little bit, I always think. So that's that. So once again, stand that to the side. Right, now comes the, I won't say it's the fun part, it's the tricky part I always find. So that one can sit there. Right, it's the signatures. I only ever put one signature in this, but I'm blinding you with a ruler. This is sort of personal choice. I always do about 10 pages. I find that in these books it's plenty, because obviously you want it to move, so by the time you put it in, it just gives it enough to move, and then if anything gets added into it after. Okay, so what we need to do is we've got to cut this. So I need to put my clips on and my bits of card. Now I always make sure that I bang it down. and we're going to cut at the top, and we're going to cut down the side. I only cut one top. That didn't make sense. I only cut at one bit at the top or one bit at the bottom. I don't do both. For the simple reason I like having a rough wriggly edge, so I do it this way. Yeah, what am I doing? I want that on the side there, and then I want this one down here. Right, and I use bits of card on your papers because it helps to not make marks on your paper. That's the theory. Okay, and then I always just flip them down like that, and that's your book in place. Okay, alright, I need to get my cutting mat, and then a trusty cutting mat. Right. Now, I've never done this on the camera, so fingers crossed it works, and I'm not going to be in your view too much. Right, what we need to do is we need to measure inside the book. So I always give it less because I like a little bit of a border around it. So what I do is I take the ruler to the centre, and because I want a bit of a border, I hope you can see this okay, I'm going to do it 14.5. That should be about there where my thumbnail is. I hope you can see that okay. So I'm going to cut that 14.5 by, I'm going to do it as 20.5, and that will give it just a little bit of room either side. You can do it 20, but I think it's just a little bit too much, or you can be like I was earlier and you could do like 20.2, 20.3, that sort of thing, but I'm trying to make it a little bit easy for myself, so 20.5 should be fine. What I always do, because I'm constantly always sort of thinking, what size was it? I always write it down, so it's 14. See, I forgot again. It's 14.5, I think, isn't it? Yeah, 14.5 by 20.5. That's my choice, because I've got a brain like a sieve half the time when I'm doing stuff, and I constantly query what I'm doing. So all I do, I have to stand up for this one. I hope I don't cause shadows. Right, you just take, yeah, you're okay there. Just zoom it in a little bit. Right, sec. Oh, how do I zoom in on this one? No, I'm going to have to leave it like that because I can't remember how you zoom in. Like I said, I've got a new camera and I've not really had to look at it. I'm naughty. Okay, all I do, I will show you, I'll bring this up to you, right, is a mark 20.5, and I just put a little pencil line there, and I do it down here again, and I do 20.5. So if you can see, I hope you can see the line. Yeah, I've got a little line there. That's all you need. And then turn it round and make sure that you've got it on the edge, and I do 14.5. You don't think that there's a lot to take off, but when you take into account the rest of the pages, there's quite a bit. And I know some people do use the paper cutter, but I just find this so much easier because I've tried to use the paper cutter before and I still can't get them level. I think it's just me and paper cutters that don't agree. That's, you know, each to their own, I always say. Whatever you're happiest doing, then you do it that way. I always do the end bit first. So all I do is just like get my ruler, and it's always handy to have the metal ruler. Okay, and just make sure I'm in view. And I just use the lines on the mat. Make sure, yeah, it's there. Right, I use a Stanley knife. Now I got this last year and it's really, really good. But you just got to make sure that the blade's obviously sharp. So all I do is I just hold the ruler really tight, make sure that that's not going anywhere, and then I just bring that down like so. And that should, yeah, that's it. Okay, so as you can see, a nice smooth edge. Right, same again for the down bit. So make sure you've got your ruler straight. Get your your white line, or whatever you know, whatever guideline you use, it's entirely up to you. I just find it easy because it's the lines on the mat, that's all. Okay, and then once again just press it down, and then just get your blade, make sure you've got constant pressure on it. It's not always that easy, I must admit. Always make sure that it's kind of cut it okay. This is what I've done before. There you go. And then it's just done it. Don't worry if it's got the lines like that, because for some reason, whether it's just my paper or blade or not, I don't know, but that's how it is. Right, I will put that back, and then just shove these aside. You end up with a load of bits of paper, so we'll shove them to the side in the bin. Right, that can go on the floor. Okay, right, now set that down again. Get rid of them little bits of paper because I don't want to glue them onto the top. Okay, right, I never got my book binding thing down. Okay, me trusty little box with my thread and my brodger, and I need my marker. Right, now I'd already marked out for my signatures, so I know that this is the correct one that I needed. But before I do any of this, I just nearly forgot. I want to round these corners. Now, I made the mistake last time, and I didn't do it until they were in the notebook, and it was a nightmare because I couldn't get the cutter to work, and I'm hoping this works. I've got this one, and it sticks sometimes, so I'm kind of hoping it does work for me. So all I do is I just do this. I usually do about 2 pages at a time. That's about all it seems to agree to, and that's why I'm kind of a bit nervous doing the outside cover, because it usually hates me. It's not the first time I've had to get the hammer on the punch because it's jammed my notebook in it. That's how bad it gets. I did have the We Are Memory Keepers one, but I can't squeeze the handles because it's too big. And for anybody that's got small hands will know how much you struggle to hold things. Usually I'm pretty good, but not on that. So I sold it to another crafty person. So hopefully they've got better use of it than me, because it just ended up living in my drawer. And I think it was there for about a year. And I thought, this is just silly. I can't do this. Right, the only thing you've got to watch is when the paper curls. I hope you can, yeah, you kind of know this. Right, that's your insert, your signature, okay? So I always put the cut bit, like I said, at the bottom. So that's the way it's going to go in. So it means you've got it like this already. I always sort of prepare it. If I've been doing one, it's easier. And all I do is, a bit like when I was cutting it, put the paper or the card over, and you grip it at the top, shove it in, make sure it's in place, and then I do the same over on this side. And it just holds it in for you for when you put in your signature into your book. Right, we'll do that in a minute. Now, oh dear, please work for me. I'll look so stupid if you don't. Okay, all you do. Okay, I'm going to stand up. Right. Yeah, you might hear the dogs barking because they hate me using this. So, okay. I've done it that much on the other ones. I ended up bruising that bit of your hand it's even started going red just now, because you have to press it so hard, because I mean, you're going through your thick card, plus the paper's thick as well. So that's how your book looks. That go to the side now. Right. Now you can either ink it. I mean, obviously you don't have to ink it, but it's just I like to ink it so that you can sort of get rid of the raw edge, because you've got the brown in between. But you can leave it like it is if you want. It's entirely up to you. And I mean, obviously you don't need to use a Edith Holden book. It's just that we all love Edith Holden, you know, and I've got a bit of a thing for the pages. I love it. I mean, I love nature at the best of times, so you know, that's just one of the things that you do. Right, so now what we need to do is do the insert. So out comes my trusty, I've not used it many times, my trusty little tool. Right, make sure that you've got it the right way up, and always make sure, yeah, this is, because what I do is I make sure that I've got enough either end, because this, I'm just trying to think what I've done now. Yeah, this is the size of the paper, just about, a bit less actually. What did I do with the other one then? Oh no, I did use this one. No, do ignore me. Right, you could even do, I'm going to do something that could be really disastrous for everybody, but why not? Okay, this could be, it definitely could be complete disaster. Now, you don't have to do it my way that I'm going to do, because you can actually do it separately, but because that's just slightly off, I'm going to try and do everything together. So what I've done, like I did before, just hold that in there, okay, and that will hold that in place. Pages are where I want them, so let's do this. Okay, so all I've got, just stab it in and stab it in, come on, and stab it in. If this has gone off, it's nobody's fault, it's mine, and obviously you can do it the right way by doing it, the signature first and then doing that, but that looks pretty good to me. That has gone in the centre. I'm pretty pleased with that. You can see, oh, you can't really see, can you? Sorry. You got a hole there, and you got a hole there, and a hole there. So that's good. Right, I will just clip this back so I can hold it in place. Oh, do come on. Such fiddly things. Okay, right, now we want to stitch it in, and I've lost my pin. No, my needle. It's not a pin. You can't sew with a pin. I always cut too much of this, but I'd rather cut too much than not have enough, to be quite honest. Right, thread that. This is just the linen thread that I use. Okay, so thread it through. Most of us know how to do this, but if not, all you do is just thread it through the middle. I always start in the middle. You don't have to, but it's just preference. Go through the middle, pull it through. I always leave quite a bit of a length at the back, well, inside. Right, come on, don't be silly. Right, turn it over, and then go into the next bit, and then you poke it through the paper if it behaves. Like so. You can either do it from the top, like go from the middle, do the top one, or you can go from the bottom. It doesn't really matter, because it's the same process to do either. And then bring it into the middle, making sure that you don't catch this. And if that has gone short, if you've pulled it too much, you can just pull it back, because you've got a bit of leeway. So put that back through. When you give it a bit of a wiggle, sometimes it can be a bit awkward, especially when you're going through card. That's it. Okay, pull that back through like that, and then do the same. Yeah, you can see. I hope I have been in frame for a lot of this because I'll be really annoyed if I haven't. Okay, and then all I do is you just pull it tight. I always thread my needle back through. You can see, just pop it underneath. No, that's just come out. If you pop it underneath the bit that's already there, like that, and then just pull that through, that takes it through that way. Okay, so the needle can come off, and then pull it that way, and pull it that way, and that pulls it really tight. If you flip it over, that, you make sure that those bits are always tight for you. And then all you do is you just put a simple knot in. You can put a double knot if you want. I sometimes do. I sometimes just put a single, and then put a bow. This is the bit I always find fiddler because I can never get a neat bow. It's either too big one side or the bow's that small that I can't do a bow, really. Okay, so, and you can do this a double knot if you like as well, but it's on preference, just however easy you want to do it. I did do it once and then realised that I hadn't pulled it tight enough, so I had to undo the whole thing. But look, I actually managed to not waste any of the thread, which I was really surprised about because I thought I'd want to have to start it again, but it worked. So that can come off and that can come off. So now, yeah, just make sure I did it the right way then. Right, so now we are getting there. We nearly have a book. So it's looking pretty good. And you've got your signatures, and that's how it goes so far. Right, now the spine. So I'll put that back up on my shelf. So back to this, and we want to ink it. Yeah, that was the outside, wasn't it? So just ink around it. I always ink before I glue. I have forgot to ink, and trying to ink something when it's covered in glue isn't a fun task at all. It's, yeah, it's definitely not on my to-do list. Because you get covered in ink and glue, and then you stick to everything. Your hands are usually dyed if you're using a permanent ink, because somehow it manages to stick on you. Right, so yeah, it's that way around. See, that was close because I nearly ended up putting it that way. So it's that way because it's got writing at the bottom. So that goes like that. Put a stick. I've actually really enjoyed doing this. I hope you have too. And I'm sorry if, like I say, you found it boring or it's not what you expected, but this is just how I make the books. I'm sorry. And I know I've waffled, which is me. So from day one, I've always said that. Okay. Same again, fold it. Come on, don't be messing. Right, fold it. I ain't got my cloth. Fold it again. Try not to get this on anything too much. Put it on the spine. And this also protects your thread for your signature as well, which is what I liked. And then all I do is I just shove it on and press it down as I'm going. Okay. So now, move that out of the way. You do just press it down with your hand. I don't usually use the bone folder on it because sometimes it can press it too hard, and I don't want to have any indentations going through or on it, because obviously you'll see the edge of the book, but you'll also see what I mean about the fact that it's quite sort of tight on the edge. Just make sure that you've pressed it down though with your fingers on the edge. And then do that. And then all I do, right, so that's that. So there's basically your book done. Just make sure that it's got room to open and close. I always give it a bit of a wiggle. Just check. Sometimes, that's not too bad. Sometimes I've noticed that it's a little bit longer than it needs to be, so you just trim those bits off. But I think we've been pretty good with that. And then all we do is so easy we literally just ink all the way around it. I hope you can. Oops. It doesn't matter if you catch the pages either. I always think it just adds more character to everything. It's not. It's supposed to be looking vintage. And I know a lot of people have the white page fear, and I actually done a journal with white pages, and it was really good. I really enjoyed doing it. It was definitely weird because you're used to having tea dye paper or, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, it gets a little bit tricky to just ink it around the spine bit, but you're okay. Right, I always do the inside first because I find it a little bit trickier. So that's, sorry, I just realised but that's all it is on that side, and then we do the outside, which is a lot easier. And this just gives the character then. You'll have to excuse the cat if you can hear it, that's Jack. I'm actually surprised because I've got his sister asleep on the chair behind me. I forgot that I'd left her in. And she usually comes and walks all over everywhere, but she's sleeping, which is good. Okay, so that, my friends, is a completed Edith Holden notebook. How about that? And that is how easy it is. It's, you know, I mean, you can use any books that you've got. Excuse my braces, I keep trying to keep them quiet. You can use any books that you've got, anything that you want to make, scrap card, and you can make them any size. Like I said, I've made some that was only maybe about, I don't know, 4 inches, if that, and the same design, same way of making them, and they were perfect little notebooks. I actually gave my mum one, and she uses it for whatever, really. Yeah, any of the important little notes that she needs to sort of make. So I really hope you enjoyed with this video, and I hope it sort of inspired you to make one yourself. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Oh my word, I can't believe how many, you know, have subscribed. Thank you so much. You've really gave me a boost of confidence again, and all your lovely comments. Yeah, thank you so much. It means the world to me. Yeah, so I hope you like this, and like I say, if there's anything that I've done that you think you're not sure of, just let me know, and if I need to do another video to show you something, please just ask me, and I'm more than happy to help you. But I hope you like it, and that's about it, really. So not sure when my next video is coming. I've got another idea for an Edith Holden project that I'm thinking I might actually do it on a video. So watch this space. So fingers crossed it won't be too long before I do it. Yeah, so that's about it, really. So take care, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.